are called to order. This meeting of the Franklin Township Council is called to order. Madam Clerk, please read the Open Public Meeting Act.
In accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act of the State of New Jersey, adequate notice of the October 9, 2018 work session regular meeting of the Franklin Township Council was provided as required by law.
Thank you. If we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by an invocation read by Deputy Mayor Chanel Robinson. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, for which it stands. Standing, please.
O God, the creator and redeemer of all the faithful, hear our supplications, and through thy infinite love and mercy, graciously grant us the strength and power in our thoughts and decisions to be for the benefit of all people at all times. Amen.
We have one proclamation tonight.
We need to
I'm
do
sorry,
roll call.
we need to do roll call. Madam Clerk, Madam Master Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Chase.
Here.
Councilwoman Francois.
Here.
Councilman Galtieri.
Here.
Mayor Kramer.
Here.
Councilman Nodi Jaka.
Here.
Councilman Prasad. Deputy Mayor Robinson.
Here.
Councilman Vassanoa.
Here.
Councilman Wright. Mayor, I have something that I received from Councilman Prasad that he would like me to read.
Go ahead.
I would like to thank the voters of Franklin Township who have placed their confidence in me and elected me as councilman at large. I fear recent events in the news and the distractions it has caused have hampered the council from serving the residents of Franklin Township. After consulting my colleagues on the council, I have decided to spend a few weeks away from council business so that the council may focus on the Franklin Township agenda. Due to these distractions, my family and business have also suffered and need my attention. I expect to join the council meeting soon. I am grateful for the confidence and trust the Franklin voters have placed in me. It is an honor and privilege to serve you.
Okay, thank you. Moving on, commendations and proclamations, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Deputy Mayor Robinson.
Yes. Franklin Township, Somerset County Mayor and Township Council, Breast Cancer Awareness Month Proclamation. Whereas October is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which is an annual campaign to increase awareness of this disease, and while we have seen an increase in mammography rates and decline in deaths, there is more we can do. And whereas National Breast Cancer Awareness Month remains dedicated to increasing public knowledge about the importance of early detection of breast cancer diagnosis and treatment. And whereas too many women do not utilize mammography at regular intervals, even though research indicates it's the best available method of detection to decrease death rates. And whereas the awareness campaign is sending out several key messages, most notably the American Cancer Society continues to advise women to get an annual mammogram screening once they reach the age of 40. And whereas the National Cancer Institute estimates in the United States more than 231,000 female and 2,000 male new cases of breast cancer will be diagnosed this year, and over 40,000 people will die. And whereas in Somerset County, female breast cancer increased slightly and accounts for 16.3% of all cancer cases and 8.7% of all cancer deaths, and are slightly higher than the average in New Jersey for incidence. And in Morris County, female breast cancer accounts for 15.8% of all cancers and 9% of all cancer deaths. I'm reading as is, so. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Mayor and Council of Township of Franklin County and Somerset does hereby recognize all of the above and declare October 2018 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month and urge all women and their families to increase their knowledge about breast cancer and join us to celebrate successes and memorialize those who lost the battle. Signed here on this day, October 9th, 2018, Philip Kramer, Mayor, Chanel Robinson, Deputy Mayor. And I present this to the members and the Executive Committee of Sister to Sister.
Thank you so much. I want to thank Franklin Township, the mayor, and all the members here for this proclamation. We worked so hard all year trying to bring awareness to breast cancer. It's unfortunate that minorities and underserved women die more of breast cancer than any other Caucasian women or any other ethnic group. So that's what we try to bring awareness to, so that women will take charge of their health. If they need help, if they don't have insurance, that they would contact Sister to Sister, because we're here to help them. And I want to introduce some of our members. I'm so glad they all came out. We're so excited. I don't want to talk ahead of myself about the Pink Patch Project, but we're so excited about this program, we all wanted to come out. We have our chairman here, Amrell Alonzo of our board, the vice president, Barbara Burton, is here, and all the rest are members. Another Genevieve is board. Kimberly Francois is a member of our PAB board. But we're just so happy tonight that to join partners, become partners with Franklin Police Department. And we love the pink car that they have out there. Some of us are saying we didn't sign it on Saturday. We want to sign the car. So we just thank you. We're grateful to be here. We're grateful for the partnership. Most importantly, grateful for having an opportunity to bring awareness to this dreaded disease. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor. To echo the sentiments that the Deputy Mayor said when she gave the proclamation from the council, we at the police department, and I have to give props to my number two, Greg Borland. The captain found out about the Pink Patch Project. It really started out west in California, and he brought it to our attention, and we decided that we wanted to do the Pink Patch Project this year. So as you can see, the officers in the back of the room almost are all wearing our pink patches, and these are to raise awareness for breast cancer. And then other officers got involved, and Sergeant G. Price is back there somewhere, and he had the idea about the pink car, and we wrapped the car in pink, and it's gotten an overwhelming response, and I think it was wonderful out at your event on Saturday, and we're going to have it at other events throughout the township this whole month. So the idea was at first to raise awareness, and then secondly to raise some money. And I have to say that the PBA has been wonderful. Our PBA president, Mark Rossman, couldn't be here tonight, but I want to thank him, and I want to thank all the members of the PBA, because the money for this, for the car, for the patches, for the shirts, for everything, all the money was put up by the PBA. This did not come out of taxpayer dollars in any way. That money was put up by our PBA. So thank you. And I also want to talk about the businesses that we're partnering with. So first of all, for the car, Maximum Tint out of Hillsborough wrapped that car for us, and they gave us they gave the PAB an excellent price. Thank you very much. Ricky Egan did all the signing on it, as he does all the signing on all of our stuff. He misspelled my name on my door last year, but that's okay. We forgive. But I want to thank them for doing what they did with the car, and I want to thank a couple of our local business. We have Junior here from the Stage House. He is going to allow us to park that car out there, and our members are going to sell T-shirts at Stage House, our Pink Patch Project T-shirts. We are already on our third order of the month. We sold out immediately the first order, sold out immediately the second order. We have our third order going in. Junior has also vowed to raise some money. And then also the Corner Cafe and Deli. They also have allowed us to park the car out there, and we're going to be out there with the car, again, with the shirts and everything. So it's going to be great. And when we started talking about this, the captain and I said, you know what, we need to partner with somebody locally. We need to donate that money locally. And that's when we went to the Sister to Sister Network. And so I'm real hopeful that in about a month, I'm going to be handing Dorothy a big old check. So it's going to be fantastic. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anybody that I needed to thank, the business partners and everything. These ladies are fantastic. They've been wonderful. Mayor and council, thank you so much for letting us do this, and we're looking forward to a very positive October. Bring awareness to this disease and raise a lot of money and donate to these fine ladies behind me. So, thank you.
Thank you.
And one more thing, the captain, come on up, Cap, has one of our pink patches for each of the members of council. So, thank you.
Help me move this back.
And we feel so humbled by this. We just thank you so much, Franklin Police Department, for thinking about us, and with the money that we will use, the money that's raised will go to women that's going through treatment. Women that's going through treatment, a lot of times to help pay utility bills or rent, whatever they need, we usually take a bill from them and pay it. So they will be encouraged and they will continue to get their treatment. So many times women that's underserved and minority women stop treatment simply because the bills, once you get breast cancer, your bills go up. And a lot of times women just can't juggle it and they stop treatment or put treatment on hold, and that's something you should not do when you're with when you have cancer, though. That's what we'll be doing with your funds. Thank you so much.
Y'all come on down. Well, all right, y'all come on up here. All right, come on. Yeah, come on. Yeah.
Captain Borland, could you get the light switch so you can see the screen?
Listen, this is what we're going to do right quick. Could I get somebody to pull down the lights over there? Okay, now, Dorothy, you come on back here, and you explain. Well, I'm the guy with the purple jacket on, but could you explain who she is?
Oh, the lady that we invited, she was our special guest for our 5K walk. She was appointed by Governor Murphy. Her name is Hester Agadosi, Esquire, and she works with diversity and inclusion. She's Chief Diversity and Inclusion of Diversity for the state of New Jersey. And that's Carl, and that's me in the middle.
Yes, that's me in the middle. And I have 3 slides that I want to bring up. First, these 2 officers, come on, y'all come on down here in front. Talk about the pink car. Well, we have the pink car. Where's it at? Okay, that's us at the pink car at their function. Now, at first I was like, where's everybody at? When I saw the car, could you explain to us what the handwriting on the car is?
Oh, the handwriting says breast cancer awareness, and then it's the police sign, but they're having everyone that's a survivor sign the hood of the car. And it's so emotional because some people are signing for themselves and some are signing in memory of a mother or a daughter that they lost. So signing of the car means a lot. And I believe if you circulate that car around Franklin Township, probably by the end of the month, you'll have the whole thing covered in signatures. Everybody wants to sign the car. Thank you.
And Chief, come on. Explain why your officers were there.
So we're.
Wait, come on.
So this is 2 of our fine officers, Elmeyer and Schwartz. and also in the picture you have Sean Hebben, Sergeant Sean Hebben, and they were there to represent the police department, bring out the car, and support the Sister to Sister Network on this just a wonderful day that everything just went so terrific. So thank you very much, Council.
Now, of course, they paid me for this, but anyway, that's a beautiful car they have out there. Now, Bob, is there another car shot out there? Nice big one out there? There you go. That's the car. So if everybody at home and you want to know what the car is, there it is. If you see it driving around town, parked anywhere, I'm more than sure the Sisters to Sisters Network would love you for that contribution that I know everyone wants to give us to better breast cancer awareness. And if you have it, of course, sign the car. But I just want everybody to know that the finest were there. They weren't just hanging around doing nothing, just driving up and down the block. These are our boys right here, okay? And I didn't mean to single out the women. I didn't mean to do that. The girls. Now, Bob, there's two other pictures there. Now, that picture right there, come back to the other one. That picture there, with everyone in the red and white, those are the sisters of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And the gentleman in front with the purple on, my fraternity, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Now, we were there to help them. We were there to do whatever was required to make this event successful. Dorothy, talk about them.
Okay, the Deltas, who had a huge team. Not only did they have a team, each member on that team went out to their family to ask their family to also donate to us. So we got donations from California, Florida, Maryland, all over, because they were building their team and they were building finances behind it. They helped us put on the program along with the men that were there. They helped us with the registration, done an awesome job. So those are volunteers. It takes many, many volunteers to put on a 5K walk. And I'd say probably that's still about half of them, because we had some people on the trail, some people parking cars. So there was a lot going on Saturday, but it was a great event. We could not do what we did without volunteers.
Oh, wait, we can hold that one. That's just a better picture of us and the pink car. Okay? My fraternity and the pink car. Bob, small on. Now, I do, no. Six. Those are the ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Yes. They, too, were there to help us out on that day. So,
Again, all sororities are good, okay? We love both. So, and we're not partial to any sorority that wants to help us. We open our arms. And this is the AK, is that your chapter, Barb? The AKAs are Nu Xi Omega chapter. And again, they were very beneficial and helpful to us. Matter of fact, Clara, the one that's running around taking the picture, that's her group. So she got them all to come out. And we thank you, Clara.
Now, I just want everybody to remember, I'm the guy in the middle on the ground, okay? That's me. And that's it, Bob. I think I'm done, okay? I want to thank everyone here once again. I didn't run, but I was there, okay? I didn't run. So, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, the next item is public discussion. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. The meeting is open for public discussion. Mr. Mayor Kelly, could you please turn on the lights, you being right there? Anyone wishing to speak, please come up. You may discuss anything pertaining to government. You are limited to 5 minutes, no yielding of time. You may only come up once, and you must address the council. Thank you.
Hello, Council.
Hello, Mr. LaCourte.
Bob LaCourte, 265 South Middlebush Road, Somerset here. I just want to say that I understand that the community finance committee or funding committee where this money was for the statues, there's approximately $14,000 left. I would like to see myself, that money donated to the youth center to go for classes or any type of diversity training, or even maybe some guest speakers. We're pretty much set in how we're thinking and what we do, but the kids that are from 5 to 14, 15, 16 years old, they're the ones that I think we should help to show about diversity and how we can all get along. And like Mr. Rogers said, won't you be my neighbor? So that's something that I'd like you all to, who's on the community, to think about and donate that money to the youth center. And that's basically all I have tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. LaCourt.
Benjamin Guy.
Address, please.
Did Mr. LaCourt give his address?
If he didn't, I forgot to get it. I need your address, please.
Okay. 35 Patton Drive. So pretty much, there's two things I would like to address. One is this whole despicable display that we've been doing for the last 6 weeks. I don't know what's going on. Usually only comes around election time frame, so I don't know what this is about, pretty much. So that's one thing. So using this as public forum and public discussion out here, that's been going on since I think at least 3.5 years for council. You should have probably just had a town hall and tabled this and took this away from the whole public discussion, because you're wasting public time. And like I said again, this is it's not going nowhere. And if somebody was picketing other people's businesses because of what they did and what they believed in, we would, we would have a town in uproar. And that's what you guys are causing. What we need to be focused on is what's going on with the kids in this community. My whole question is about, again, we're going to bring this back up because I heard some rumblings about it, is that where are we at with, with the youth center project? Because that's what we should be discussing. Because, again, we have problems in our community, and it goes or rests from us not being diversified and actually trying to teach and be a little bit more ahead of the things rather than behind them. And that's where we currently are right now, and we need to actually work on that. And I would challenge Mr. LaCourt, because, because he has relationships with the Board of Ed, to actually, if he wants to get money and do something else with the youth center, to actually put this on the table to actually have the Board of Ed start advocating for the youth center to get done. Because, again, you have as much backing as anybody else in this community to actually get something done. And if you want to actually help out even more, you can help out with the town council with supporting programs for the youth center itself. So my whole question is that, are we done with this whole discussion? Because even if the councilman is not here, are we going to bring this back up again? Because I don't understand what we're accomplishing right now. And again, if you have a personal problem with the person and you've had it for the last 3.5 years, you need to resolve that, and you have a discussion outside of business hours. And that's the only thing that I would like the town council to say. If we have these discussions anymore, just make a town hall for people to actually have this discussion and take the notes from it. You have a clerk that can actually be here to actually take the notes during its public discussion time frame, and have that done in an orderly fashion so that we can address this problem the right way. The second thing is that I just wanted to address is that all the construction that is going on in the town itself, as we go forward, are we giving updates to the public about certain projects that are going on and how that's impacting? The reason why I'm asking that question is because as the bus routes that are going on around town, when there's actually construction for sidewalks and everything else, I just would like to know, are we giving notice, or is there a notice that we're actually sending out to the town to let them know about that? The third thing is that we invite, on behalf of Hamilton Street Board, Week of the People, and Parks and Rec Department, we invite everybody out. We're going to have a holiday celebration for the kids in the community on October 27th in John's Plaza, and we would like to invite everybody out. That's going to be from 1 to 5. Again, if you want to put your money where your mouth is, put it in the hands of the community and donate to that specific cause, because that's about impact. Sisters Network did a great job, but there's other impactful groups that are around here also. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak?
Robert Troutman, 13 Orchid Court. Good evening, everyone. I had some other prepared remarks to say tonight, but given the news that we started the meeting with, I'm going to cut it short. I'm just going to ask you, Mr. Mayor, I know that it was said at one of the original meetings when the issues with Mr. Prasad came up, but I understand that the only way the council can do anything to remove someone is if their seat is declared vacant. And if you could tell me what the procedure is, how long that has to take.
What are you talking about in reference to?
What I'm talking about is in terms of when the council was challenged at 3 meetings ago or so to remove Mr. Prasad. The attorney told us that there's no process by which you can do that other than if the seat is declared vacant. And my question is, what has to happen for a seat to be declared vacant?
I'll turn that over to the attorney.
Well, first, somebody has to be, I mean, there's a couple of criteria, but the one I think we're talking about is that somebody would have to miss 8 consecutive weeks of council meetings, and then the council may, at that point in time, take action.
Okay, thank you. So with that, assuming this leave of absence goes on for an extended period of time, I'll just ask each of the council people if they would commit to taking that action to save us the $95,000 that it's going to cost to do a recall, to save us all the drama and everything that is surrounding it. So I would put that to the council. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak?
Seeing no one else come forward, I motion that we close the public portion.
Second.
Moved and seconded, seeing no discussion on the public session portion. All in favor of closing, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Public discussion is closed. Council committee reports and comments. Right. We'll start with you.
Nothing from my side of the desk, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. At what portion of the meeting will you be remembering you forgot to say something and interrupting the meeting to say it?
Okay, I'll let you go with this one. But I will come back to the manager later on.
Oh, goody. Mr. Chase.
I don't really have anything to say either. I reported on Public Works Committee at our last meeting. We did not have a land use committee meeting at the end of last week, and I'm not aware of any big events in the First Ward since then. When we get to the consent agenda, I will want to explain a bit about one of the items there. But otherwise, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Vasanella.
Public safety and land use committees will be meeting later in the month, so there is no reports there. ELS is meeting tomorrow. It did meet last week, the Emergency Management Committee, Emergency Preparedness Council, basically kind of two in the same. And it was a very productive meeting, went well. It's the first meeting that our new director, John House, who's also our director of fire prevention here, presided over the meeting. And if there are minutes that come forward, I will definitely report them at an upcoming meeting. Like I said, it was a very productive meeting, and I think we're in good hands with our new leadership over there. I encourage everybody, in line with some of the comments that were made tonight, to go to the trunk or treat on Hamilton Street. We used to have 2 events for the children, kids of all ages. I think the adults enjoy it almost as much, right, Councilwoman?
Yes.
And we hopefully won't run out of candy. It was such a successful couple years ago, we actually ran out of candy. But in all seriousness, it is a wonderful event. It's held on Hamilton Street, as was referenced by Mr. Guy. And that's an opportunity to come out and be supportive. We don't have our youth center built, but I would imagine these are the type of activities that will be promoted and maybe even assisted by the youth center and our youth in Franklin. So again, that's 2 Saturdays from now, 12 to 20, 2 Saturdays from this Saturday. But really, it's going to be fun. Come out if you can. That's it. Oh, and well, I'll let you talk about it, but I think you got a little event going on in East Millstone this weekend.
Oh, I heard.
Anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman, former mayor, former deputy mayor, leader of the world, Councilwoman Francois.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, just to piggyback, we decided that we were going to do the pumpkin patch in conjunction with the trunk or treat event this year. And so we're really looking to see probably 300 to 400 kids there. We have a fun bus, we have a game bus, we're going to have the fire department there, we're going to have a pumpkin patch games, we're going to have a DJ, we're going to have a contest, a dance contest, a costume contest, the best trunk or treat contest. And so we're definitely looking forward to that. There's a lot of planning behind the scenes, and we have partnered with the Parks and Rec Department to do that with the Hamilton Street Advisory Committee. Also, I just want to thank the PBA and the Franklin Township Police Department for the Pink Patch project that they are sponsoring for the Sisters Network, Sister to Sister organization. It means so much to the women in Central Jersey, and we really appreciate me being on the board. We really appreciate the donations and the support. I couldn't be at that event because I've been sick for like the last 2 weeks, and I'm still getting better. If you can't tell by my voice, I'm still struggling a little bit. But I'm glad that the councilman was there. Councilman Wright was there in rare form, and I appreciate the fact that you are supporting the sisters the way you do, and keep up the good work, Mr. Councilman Wright. And since Mr. Guy is back, I just want to make one comment about the youth center. There is a lot of work that's going on behind the scenes. We are on target. We are on schedule. We've had meetings with the architect on the September 4th, and then we have another meeting scheduled on October 18th. So we're in the architectural design phase. We've been giving them requirements about the programs that we want in the building, what types of equipment we need in the building, the electrical outlets, all the kinds of things that go into architectural design for a youth center. So we are on target. We'll try to, I think the manager and I will do a better job of giving more and more updates so people know what's going on there. But the project is on schedule and it is moving forward. And we are very, very excited about it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Charles Onijaka.
Okay, Mayor. First of all, I want to use this opportunity to thank our police department, the township manager, and the mayor too. You know, over the weekend, we ran into unexpected traffic around 27 during the burial of one of the elders of Sierra Leone in this community. It was too much, so the situation was arrested. Everything came down perfectly and fine. So without heavy traffic, we didn't block any traffic around 27. So everything went fine. Secondly is there's a truck I commonly park on Westminster. And I know that's why she is here. She has written a couple of letters to me that we need to take care of it. And I want to use this opportunity to tell her that, yes, we've arrested the situation, we're taking care of it, we're taking the issue to the appropriate quarters. So sooner or later, that truck will not be parking there anymore. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I have to say.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Will Gualtieri.
Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you.
So just briefly, first, breast cancer awareness. Thank you to the Sisters to Sisters Network and our police department for their support. Having multiple family members that have survived or have gone through breast cancer, some having survived and others not. It is an important topic, and it's something that we definitely have to raise awareness for. I remembered actually thinking over the weekend, reading through this, my senior paper of college was actually about cancer treatments and future treatments. Unfortunately, in 10 years, not much progress has been made on the drugs out there, but hopefully through funding and generous donations, we'll continue to work towards I don't want to say a cure, at least a treatment for it so that we have a bit higher survival rate. So thank you to everybody that's donated so far and to those organizations. All right, second one, Mr. Guy unfortunately left. To Mr. Guy's point, and I would like to put it out there, we do try to send as many notices as possible about construction. I know his comment about schools, I know at least at the sewage authority, and I know the town does it too. We try to take into account bus routes and everything so that there's minimal impact. And all of our contractors at the authority now have been asked to keep in mind their projects and not to impede that. I know we've got a lot of systems. I know the Nixles there. We use social media. We use a lot of different ways to notify the residents. So if there's something that we're missing, please let us know and we'll try to increase the amount of communication. But I think we do a pretty good job with that. So the last item is had my sewage authority meeting last week. More construction going on. I mean, we wrapped up one project, but we're still ongoing with our others, again, for improvement. I'm going, last week at the meeting, there was the rate was set for next year. It is hopefully the last year there will be a 3% increase. The new rate will be $321. It is going up $9. And we are sending out the notice, and this is hopefully the last one for, we are going to seriously evaluate the budget to make sure, I'm sorry, 321 for the year. Currently 313 or 312, I believe. 312. So it will be going up to 321. I am being open and transparent. I am telling you that there is an increase coming, and it will be due. So, and again, that's split over four quarters. But again, we will be looking at the budget and making sure, working hard to keep a zero increase in the near future then also. And we do feel that we can achieve that as well. And this was, just to be outright about this, it was to support the capital improvement projects that we've been talking about with all the construction projects going on. So this will be able to support those going forward. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. In a cameo role playing Carl Wright, Jim Vasanella will now remember that he had something else to say.
See, Carl, I'm always there for you. No, seriously. Oh, and Councilman, I had thought when I asked that there was a quarter, I'm thinking 321 a quarter. That's why, because we get quarterly bills, but that's not. So that's why I looked a little startled when you mentioned it went to 321. But anyway, what I wanted to mention was, I know a few people have asked me, there's a lot of construction going on around town that has to do with PSE&G, as far as I think they're putting poles on Elizabeth Avenue and other places, new equipment, new poles. I know they're doing a lot of tree trimming. So I'm not sure, and the manager could fill you in, but that type of work we don't necessarily know about when it's going to happen, or we don't know well in advance necessarily. So we're not as able to always put out like we are if we have sewer, water, or road work going on that we put on our website. So I don't know, Mr. Manager, if there is any
Well, it
process.
depends on the type of work and the impact that it's going to have on the traffic. I mean, there's, in reality, there's construction on Franklin's public roads at least Monday through Friday every week of the year unless it's snowing. So the truth is that that's the nature of the beast in living in New Jersey, the most densely populated state in the country. There's always construction. So some of it is spur of the moment. Some of it is planned. In our case, where it is our construction and we are funding those jobs, when it is required to make notification to abutting residents, certainly our contractors are required to put notices in everyone's door when they're doing sidewalks and paving on their streets. We notice, when roads are closed or traffic is being detoured for various construction reasons. We encourage everyone to sign up for the services like Nixle or community notification events, alerts through the website, and join our Twitter account and we'll tweet you. We notify you every way that we can. You need to be signed up for those things to get those notifications. But yes, we do all of those things.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to Deputy Mayor Chanel Robinson.
I have nothing at this time, Mr. Mayor. My committee meetings begin tomorrow and later in the month.
Thank you. Here it is.
With Dr. Chase.
Oh, I just realized I might have mentioned that last Wednesday, the planning board approved a new site plan for the warehouse plan at 495 Western Canal Road in Randolph, actually decreasing the size of the largest warehouse, but it's going to be Amazon, and it's going to employ over 2 shifts up to 1,350 people. And they have extensive plans for how they're going to deal with the traffic.
Okay, there goes the first round of council comments. For my comments, welcome, Madam President. Nancy LaCourte, President of the BOE, is gracing us with her presence here. Thank you very much. The most important thing that no one has mentioned is the first screening of a female Doctor Who was this past weekend. I see from some curious looks about 5% of the people know what I'm talking about, but thank you, Jodie Whittaker, for your performance. And there's a, Doctor Who is the longest running science fiction serial on TV. And there is a character in Doctor Who this time called Carl Wright. Not kidding. I'm not kidding.
Gesticulations.
Spelled with a K, not a C, but it is there. Lesser importance, just slightly. Canal Fest is coming up this weekend, this Saturday, from 11 to 5 in East Millstone. Market Street, if you're looking for something for your GPS, Market Street and Amwell Road, you won't be able to miss it. Crafts, music festival, and a lot of good food that's bad for you. And me, I'll be there. That's all I have. Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have one thing to, since Councilwoman Francois covered the issues related to the youth center, I don't feel that I need to expound on that at this point. Next council meeting, after our next meeting with the architect, we can give an update on that issue. I have just one thing to report, and I think someone touched on it earlier. It might have been the chief of police. So as you know, that we're in the midst of a recruiting process for the police department. A written exam was administered several weeks ago, and the next step in the process is a physical agility test for those who make the cut to move on to that stage. And the top 6, I think the chief said 240, and the top 60 moved on to the next stage. So that was held at Franklin High School, not this Sunday, but the Sunday before. Beautiful day to have a physical agility test for recruits. It was limited to the top 60. However, 61 people actually participated in the physical agility test. And that one extra happened to be our mayor, who exhibited fine physical form and actually passed the physical agility test for the police officer position. So I think we should all give him a round of applause for his fine physical prowess.
I actually beat 4 of the gentlemen that were there, but all of the women smoked me. I would just like to thank my agent, Jerry McGuire.
So, but it's something that, and having spent so many years in the police department, I'm particularly happy that as the township manager and with our new chief of police, we've been able to bring back something that we haven't done in a very, very long time, and that's run an entrance exam and a process that leads to us sending our recruits through the police academy. And we haven't done it in over 20 years. I was hired off of a entrance exam, as was the current chief. When you go to the police academy with people who you're going to work with in the town that you're going to serve, it begins that camaraderie and that fellowship that you have with your coworkers. And I think that it's a very good thing that we're doing. And it also allowed us to recruit candidates to take the test that we weren't able to recruit when we were only hiring experienced police officers. So I think all in all, the township will be a big winner in this process, and I'm very happy that we're doing it. But if you wanted the job, Mayor, the cutoff was 35, and I'm not quite sure how many years ago that was, but I know it was at least several. So,
I could pass.
and that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. So we are now on to council discussion items. 2018 Flood Mitigation Status Report.
And I'm assuming that you all had an opportunity to look at this report?
Did.
And are there any questions that we have for this report? This is just, it's a requirement that we put it on the agenda. It's an annual update that Scott Thomas from our engineering department does. He handles all of our flood mitigation. And it's a formality that it's on the agenda in the manner in which it is, but it's there just specifically for that purpose.
I'm going to make my annual suggestion that we have at the corner of Canal Road and 518 a warning sign for when the Grigstown Causeway is closed, similar to the one we have on Bunker Hill Road.
So I'm sorry, at the corner of Canal and 518?
Yeah.
Sure, and that actually is a very reasonable request, and I will make a note of it. And I have some meetings coming up with the traffic engineers for Somerset County on some other issues, and I will raise that with them then, Councilman.
Because there's a lot of north-south traffic that crosses at the Grigstown Causeway and comes south on Canal Road. And then, of course, reverses in the afternoon.
Very good.
Okay. Excuse me. The last item on council discussion items is the Citizens Memorial Committee. Thank you. So, as Councilman Wright, thank you very much. It's Vonda pointing out I'm a wonk. I'm proud of that. So when that first came up, I came up with bylaws and objectives and goals. And I put this on the agenda because we said we were going to do it, and I wanted to be true to my word. Since that time, a lot of has unfolded. The Community Foundation has met, and there was discussion of, first of all, we returned the $65,000 that was donated by one person, and that leaves somewhere between $14,000 and $15,000, and there was discussion as to what to do with that. So with that money in flux, it's a little hard to discuss what should happen with a citizens committee as far as the memorial. So I'm going to be looking for input in the future from people about that. I think these are premature and probably overstated. Some have said council should not be involved at all in it. It should be generic from the public. So those are the things that have come my way. So I'm not going to go into this, and I'm looking for any other council comments on this. Okay. So moving on, we have approval of minutes. I present the following minutes for approval by the Township Council. Township Council work sessions and regular meetings. That would be August 14th, 2018 at 7 p.m., September 13th, 2018 at 7 p.m., September 25th, 2018 at 7 p.m., and executive sessions September 13th, 2018 and September 25th, 2018.
I move to approve the minutes.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Madam Clerk, I sent you a
Yes,
thing.
it
I didn't get a chance to look again, so that
I put it in your statement.
so I had my statement was written out in the original minutes. You paraphrased it. I provided the written statement in the September 13 minutes. That's been included now. Any other changes, corrections? Deputy Mayor?
I stand corrected. At September 25th meeting, I made the announcement about Makai Lewis being Franklin's own. He is a Franklin resident, but through a program that they have for school, he actually graduated from Bound Brook or South Bound Brook, not Franklin High School, but he is a Franklin resident as the junior world wrestler. So I wanted to make that correction.
Any other corrections to the minute? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Councilman Chase?
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois?
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri?
Yes.
Mayor Kramer?
Yes.
Councilman Oni Jaka?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Robinson?
Abstain on A and yes on B through E.
Councilman Vasanella?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
We are now on to the approval of the warrants. Warrants in the amount of $11,530,338.05 on October 9th, 2018 are presented to the Township Council for payment. Do I have a motion on the warrants?
I move that the warrants is read be paid.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Anyone like to question a particular warrant? Hearing none, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Chase?
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois?
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri?
Yes.
Mayor Kramer?
Yes.
Councilman Oni Jaka?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Robinson?
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
The next item is ordinance 4243-18, an ordinance amending we're moving on to public hearings and adoptions on ordinances on second reading. So there will be a public session specifically for each one of these ordinances as we go by them. So 4243-18, an ordinance amending the code of the Township of Franklin and the County of Somerset and the State of New Jersey, more particularly Chapter 167 Noise, Section 167-7 Enforcement, Violations and Penalties, is presented for public hearing and final adoption. The public hearing is being noticed as required, has been noticed as required. Do I have a motion to open to the public?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on opening to the public? Seeing none, all in favor of opening to the public, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. We are now open to the public on this item only.
Mayor, seeing no one from the public come forward, a motion to close the public portion of the hearing on this ordinance.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor of closing the meeting to the public on this item, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Do I have a motion to make the room cooler? Okay.
And they turned up the heat.
So the current weather report is about 82 degrees in here. Do I have a motion on the item?
So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on the item? So basically, this is really just to change the fine on our noise ordinance to $2,000, which is compliant with the state law.
Actually changes it to a maximum of $2,000, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Chase?
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois?
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri?
Yes.
Mayor Kramer?
Yes.
Councilman Oni Jaka?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Robinson?
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
The next item is item 4244-18, and I would like to hand this over to Councilman Gualtieri. I messed it up again. Gualtieri because this is near and dear to his heart.
Okay. So, all right. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this is ordinance 4244-18. This is to amend the municipal code of the Township of Franklin, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, more particular Chapter 201, Sewers and Sewage Disposal, addition of new Article 7, sump pumps and pipe drains discharge control.
Thank you. This is presented to the public for public hearing and final adoption. The public hearing has been noticed as required. Do I have a motion to open to the public?
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. All in favor of opening to the public, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. We are now open to the public on this item only.
Mayor, seeing no one from the public coming forward, I motion to close the public portion of the hearing on this ordinance.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor of closing to the public, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. We are closed to the public. Do we have a motion on the item?
So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to confirm that time period was indeed changed in the final ordinance from 30 to 45 days. Is that
Yes, it was.
okay? Because in my copy it says 30.
Okay. Any other discussion?
So
It has been changed in the ordinance that was advertised, and the ordinance is
Okay.
out here.
I believe you.
Or 45.
Just confirming. Thank you, Mayor. That was it.
So, Mr. Mayor, I guess we just want to clarify what this is, that this does not have to deal with actual sewage connections or anything. This is for sump pumps. This is to address concerns that if there's a sump pump that's pumping out into a right-of-way and causing a hazard to vehicular traffic or residents trying to walk down the street, it's to find a way to work with the resident to reroute where the stormwater is being dispersed into. And as Councilman Vasanella said, that there is 45 days from the first notice to start working on then, and then there will be time periods after that to find a resolution. But this is not going around forcing people to change in existing, dispersion of stormwater unless it's causing a nuisance to public.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none. Madam Clerk.
Councilman Chase?
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois?
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri?
Yes.
Mayor Kramer?
Yes.
Councilman Onijaka?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Robinson?
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Ordinance 4245-18, another great idea by Councilman Galtieri. Go ahead, read that one.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ordinance number 4245-18, establish an online exchange zone for internet-based transactions at the Township of Franklin Municipal Complex.
And this has been presented to the public for public hearing and final adoption. The public hearing has been noticed as required. Do I have a motion to open to the public?
So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of opening for public discussion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. We are now open to the public on this item only.
Mayor, seeing no one from the public coming forward, a motion to close the public hearing on this ordinance.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor of closing public discussion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. We are closed. The public discussion is closed. On this, do we have a motion on the item?
So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. That's it?
So, Mr. Mayor, this idea has been implemented in other towns, and essentially what this is, as I mentioned at the last meeting, this is creating an area within the municipal complex that, given the rise of internet transactions, whether it's Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, or the likes, the idea is to put several spots in the municipal complex that can be monitored by the police department so that the residents can feel safe conducting a transaction and prevent anybody from trying to take advantage of do mischievous ways while doing a transaction. So as it's clearly stipulated, the police are not involved in the transaction. The police will not be there present while the transaction is taking place. It's a safe, neutral meeting place that will be monitored by the public safety building. So hopefully this gives our residents a little more at ease in meeting with people they might try to do business with.
Any other discussion? Councilman Wright?
Councilman, is this located in the front, the back, the side?
Front of the police station, right out in this, right, and it will be right in front of the police station.
Okay.
And yeah, it'll be all marked and signed. They're just waiting for the ordinance to get adopted, and they're ready to go, and then they're going to roll it out with the press and social media as well. So
Does this require the same 20 days waiting period?
I don't believe that there's no enforcement of this ordinance, so there's no estoppel period. I think the attorney would agree with me on that.
Okay, any other discussion? Madam Master Clerk?
Councilman Chase.
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois.
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri.
Yes.
Mayor Kramer.
Yes.
Councilman Oni Jaka.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Robinson.
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella.
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Item 4246-18, an ordinance amending the code of the Township of Franklin, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey to address requirements regarding compliance with the municipal prior round and third round affordable housing obligations is presented for the public hearing and final adoption. A public hearing has been noticed as required. Do I have a motion to open for public?
So moved.
Seconded.
Moved in second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. We are open to the public on this item only.
Mayor, seeing no one coming forward from the public, I'll motion to close the public portion of the hearing on this ordinance.
Second.
Moved in seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Do I have a motion on the item?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? So basically, this is a lot of paperwork, essentially, but we've done, after years and years of hard work on our COA obligations, affordable housing obligations, et cetera, we are closing the loop on it and making it all legal. Again, and I mentioned it in my State of the Township address, there are towns out there just sweating this, having to allow builder remedy solutions of things out of their control, buildings out of their control, hundreds of homes, new homes being built because, in my opinion, they didn't do their homework. They didn't do the hard work before and do some of the sacrifices before, and now they're paying for it. They would argue differently. They would argue the rules changed in the middle, but nevertheless, we, as I said before, we didn't dodge a bullet. We skillfully stayed out of the gunfight. So that being said, Madam, is there any other discussion?
Mr. Mayor?
Sir.
I want to thank Dr. Chase because
Yes.
he's on there, so I want to thank him for keeping us all on the even kill. Also, our Director of Planning, Mark Healy, deserves credit also because he's kept us moving forward so that we don't have a builder's remedy coming into town. We are definitely above the curve. But again, Dr. Chase, as I said, he's been there. I think he deserves a lot of credit, and he's sitting up on the council doing a beautiful job in the First Ward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and I agree. I failed to mention the hard work Mr. Chase has done with this, so thank you, Mr.
Well,
Chase.
Mark Healy did the work.
Oh, just accept a compliment. Any other discussion items or compliments for Councilman Chase? Madam Clerk?
Councilman Chase.
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois.
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri.
Yes.
Mayor Kramer.
Yes.
Councilman Oni Jaka.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Robinson.
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella.
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Yes.
So the last, and most likely what the President of the BOE is here to see, an ordinance of the Township of Franklin, Ordinance 4248-18, an ordinance of the Township of Franklin, County of Somerset, authorizing the conveyance of certain township-owned lands located at Block 57.01, Lot 43.07, Consolata property to the Franklin Board of Education in exchange for the Franklin Board of Education owned lands located on Block 41701, Lot 8, 1755 Amwell Road to the Township of Franklin is presented for public hearing and final adoption. The public hearing has been noticed as required. Do I have a motion to open to the public?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are open to the public. Anyone wishing to speak on this item only?
Mayor, seeing no one come forward, a motion to close the public portion of the hearing on this ordinance.
But, okay.
Second?
Seconded.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor of closing public discussion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Public discussion is closed. So we have a motion on the item.
Mayor, I want to say something about,
We need a motion on the item first.
Moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Councilman.
yes, Mayor, this is a very positive move to Franklin, not only Franklin, but the entire community. You know, this property actually is located in my ward. And it's it's going to serve a very important need, because right now we don't have a very close youth center around Ward 3, and the demand for it has been very, very great. Up till now, we can use that if that area is actually given to Board of Ed. We can equally share some of their property, some of their halls, you know, if we really need it, because we have kids that can benefit from that environment. So to me, I think not only my ward, but the entire Franklin Township, it's going to be a very important access to this community. I'm very, very happy that we're taking this move. And hopefully, I think it's going to come out very good and helpful to our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? So basically, this is a land swap. We bought the land at Consolata, which is shown, videographer, if you could show the projector area. We bought the land at Consolata. The fathers there were very kind to us, gave us a discount, and we we passed that discount on to the Board of Education in a land swap. There's very technical reasons. The Board of Education can't purchase land, can't sell lands, but they can swap lands, and we swapped the land for the Board of Education building, the administrative building that's on Amwell Road, the old schoolhouse where Nancy LaCourte went to school, and got there by horse and carriage. The school board is now going to be moving here eventually. Some of the back buildings will be their new Board of Education offices. They'll be able to do things more efficiently there. They'll be able to move a lot of their equipment. Their version of the Department of Public Works for the schools will go back there, so they won't be quite the eyesore they've been on Amwell Road. And the front part, which Councilman Onijako was alluding to, will be used for a number of things, but including which will be used for a community center. It's for those who live in the area, the place where they voted when they go to Consolata to vote is the place roughly that will be the community center. And that's that area surrounded by the red, that's towards the bottom of the screen. That building will be a community center. Not to sound too much like a current leader of this country, but this is the greatest land swap ever. Yeah, I actually think it's something really good. I'm very proud of council's work on this, the Board of Education's work on this. And this is two agencies working closely together, not saying, no, this is my money, no, this is your money, because it's all the taxpayers' money, and getting a job done. What you'll notice there is the areas in blue will remain open space. The area in red is going towards the BOE. They'll get an easement down the driveway. And then the area in yellow, we have set aside for the YMCA should they choose to come, and they seem extremely eager to come. 10 acres for them. So I'm very proud of council's work on this. And that's all I have to say. Any other discussion? Did you have anything, Mr. Mann?
I think you covered it all, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
There's was a great deal of work to be done on this, and it was done, and the attorneys have done all of their work, and I think now it's just a matter of you taking a vote.
So we're going to be owning the old building, the old Board of Ed building. Are we, at this point, making public plans for that?
There are no public plans for it at this point. I think we needed to get to this point, and now part of this that you're about to hopefully approve tonight includes the right for the Board of Education to continue to occupy that building for at a minimum a year, and with it able to be extended beyond that as they work through all of their school projects now. Before they delve into this, they need time to continue to operate the Board of Education, so we're giving them the permission to continue to operate within that building until such time as they can vacate and move to what would be the renovated buildings of the Consolata property. Once that's done, this council will have many opportunities to discuss what happens with the property that we now own adjacent to us, right over here on the corner of Amwell and Charles. I know there's been a great deal of discussion already preliminarily, just in private conversations, but I think that those conversations here in these council meetings will happen once we get a better opportunity to begin to consider those uses. But there's nothing that's been decided at this point, not even close.
Okay, so if there's no other discussion, we can vote on one more move. Madam Clerk.
Councilman Chase?
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois?
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri?
Yes.
Mayor Kramer?
Yes.
Councilman Onechaka?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Robinson?
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Okay, so that's it for ordinances on second reading. Now we're going to ordinances on first reading. And when we do this, we're essentially announcing to the public that an ordinance is coming up at some time. It's a public notice so that they can be aware of it. So starting with ordinance 4249-18, an ordinance to amend the code of the Township of Franklin, County of Somerset, New Jersey, more particularly Chapter 46, Personnel Policies, Section 46-13, Retirement Benefits, subsections B and E. The foregoing ordinance is presented to Township Council for adoption on first reading, posting, and publication in accordance with law and public hearing, and final adoption on Tuesday, October 23rd on 2018 at 7 p.m. at the Municipal Complex. Do I have a motion on the item?
So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. So this is an ordinance that will affect the exempt employees, new hire exempt employees. So these are essentially the employees that are not part of a union. And what it's saying is their contracts for new hires will include health care at retirement, but only until they are 65, as opposed to life. This is getting more in compliance to what the private sector is beginning to do. It also affects how much sick time and vacation time you can turn in at the end of your career. So we have some people now who save months and months and months of sick time, and currently they get paid back for it. and this is a change to that. Any other details, Mr. Mann?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, yeah, so currently both sick time and vacation sellbacks at retirement are capped. However, this eliminates them altogether for new hires. It doesn't cap it. It says when you retire, you do not get a payout for vacation time and sick time, and you do not receive any health care benefits after the age of 65.
Okay. Any other comments on this first reading?
So these are for employees hired after November 12th, 2018?
Well, that's because in this particular case, you have to adopt it at the next council meeting, and then there is a period of time, an estoppel period for this to take effect based on advertisement in the newspaper of the adopted ordinance. So it will go into effect immediately upon that date for any new person hired that is not a member of a bargaining unit within the township.
Any other discussion? Madam Clerk, call the roll to introduce.
Councilman Chase?
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois?
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri?
Yes.
Mayor Kramer?
Yes.
Councilman Oni Jaka?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Robinson?
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
The next item is Ordinance 4250-18, an ordinance amending the municipal code of the Township of Franklin, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey. More particularly, Chapter 93, Alcoholic Beverages, Section 93-5, Hours of Sale. The foregoing ordinance is presented to Township Council for adoption on first reading, posting, and publication in accordance with law and public hearing, and final adoption on Tuesday, October 23rd, 2018 at 7 p.m. at the Municipal Complex. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
A motion, a second to introduce on discussion. So basically, this is I'm from Connecticut. In Connecticut, we had blue laws, and on Sundays, rules for selling alcohol were different. This is changing the law here. I don't know if they're called blue laws in New Jersey. Were? Okay. So it's changing it so that the hours on Sunday are the same as the hours on Monday through Saturday. So,
Which are?
7 a.m. to
7 a.m. to 2 a.m.
7 a.m. to... Any other discussion?
I just have to say, as long as I've lived here, I never knew that.
That we had
So-
different hours?
Yeah, I never knew that.
So yeah. then
On Sunday.
On a Sunday. That is a throwback to a long time ago.
So clearly,
Unbelievable. I guess I
clearly
don't do much
Councilwoman
drinking on
Francois
Sunday.
isn't drinking enough on Sunday. As your doctor, I recommend you change that. Okay, any other discussion?
So I know was some question. The purpose behind this is that we have restaurants that want to have brunch on Sunday morning, and brunch sometimes involves mimosas and things like that. And under the old law of noon, that kind of eliminated the ability to someone to go to a brunch before noon and have a morning cocktail, which, Bloody Mary or a mimosa is a fairly common thing at a Sunday brunch. And we have a number of restaurants that would like to do that, and we're trying to expand our initiatives as it relates to economic development and bringing in more retail and more restaurants. And this is one of those things that just to kind of conform with what everybody else was doing a long time ago and getting rid of those blue laws, as the mayor said, which really, to identify Sunday as any different a day, and as far as government is concerned, kind of really probably not appropriate anymore.
Certainly makes us more business friendly.
It does.
Okay, any other discussion? Madam Clerk?
Councilman Chase?
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois?
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri?
Yes.
Mayor Kramer?
Yes.
Councilman Oni Jaka?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Robinson?
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Ordinance 4251-18, an ordinance of the Township of Franklin, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, establishing Bonkers Family Fun Center as an amusement park in accordance with the Amusement Games Licensing New Jersey NJSA 5:8-78 through NJSA 5:8-130 and I know you're waiting for this, NJAAC 13:3-1.1 through NJAC 13:3- 6.6, the foregoing ordinance is presented to Township Council for adoption on first reading, posting and publication in accordance with law, and public hearing on final adoption on Tuesday, October 23rd, 2018, at 7 p.m. at the Municipal Complex. Do I have a motion on the item? Moved and
Seconded.
seconded. And the discussion on this,
Mr. Mayor, I think bonkers is most appropriate to be explained by your master clerk.
okay.
Okay, this is an ordinance that's required by legalized games of chance to allow them to get their amusement license through the state. We have to designate them an amusement park and that they are in accordance with the amusement games licensing law of the state of New Jersey.
My
I
mother-
went and looked at it today. It's in the Kingston Shopping Center near Raymond Road. It's an arcade with arcade games, not very large. Didn't seem active this afternoon.
Any other discussion? 63 years ago, I don't think my mother ever thought that she would have a son that would have the power to designate this, but.
Bonkers.
So, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on bonkers.
Councilman Chase?
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois?
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri?
Yes.
Mayor Kramer?
Bonkers, yes.
Councilman Oni Jaka?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Robinson?
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 4252-18, an ordinance amending the municipal code of the Township of Franklin, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, more particularly Chapter 112, Land Development Regulations, Section 112-4, Definitions and Attachment 1, Schedule 1, to allow body art establishments as permitted use in the NB, GB, HBD, and RDO zoning districts. Foregoing ordinance is presented to Township Council for adoption on first reading, posting, publication in accordance with law, and public hearing and final adoption on Tuesday, November 20th, 2018.
Mayor, I need to interrupt you. It should be the 27th, not the 20th. It's a typo.
27th, Tuesday, November 27th, 2018, at 7 p.m. at the Municipal Complex. Do I have a motion?
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. So why is this date different than any other dates?
When you amend the development ordinance, it has to go back to the planning board, so we need to allow time in between.
Thank you. So this is basically an ordinance on tattoo parlors. Currently, there's no place in town that you can have a tattoo parlor, so any tattoo parlor moving into town would have to go to the zoning board, Board of Adjustment. This is allowing it in certain zones. I think that ordinance was written at a time when tattoos were relatively infrequent, and now I would say there's a lot more people with tattoos. So a change in society is my editorial comment. Any other discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I thought you were changing your body into a canvas for some of these guys. Was that just hearsay or?
Pure hearsay.
Okay.
But
Just
you know,
want to check.
hearsay can become fact. Any other discussion? Madam Clerk?
Councilman Chase?
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois?
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri?
Yes.
Mayor Kramer?
Yes.
Councilman Oni Jaka?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Robinson?
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
We are now on to ordinance 4253-18, an ordinance amending the municipal code of the Township of Franklin, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, more particularly Chapter 112, Land Development Regulations, with the addition of Section 112-111N, digital signs. The foregoing ordinance is presented to Township Council for adoption on first reading, posting, publication in accordance with law, and public hearing and final adoption on Tuesday, November 27th, 2018, at 7 p.m. at the Municipal Complex. Do I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to table.
Second.
So a motion to table without, so a
Well-
motion and a second. So there's no discussion?
Well, I'd like to discuss.
So do you want to retract your motion so we can discuss?
After the motion? Well, I think this needs to be vetted a little bit more.
Okay, so So Robert's rules, there's been a motion and a second to table. The only thing appropriate now is to call for a vote to table. If you want to discuss why you want to table, you have to retract your motion. I'm sorry, I'm a rules freak. You just want the vote on the table?
Yeah.
Okay. Madam Clerk?
Councilman Chase,
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois,
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri,
Yes.
Mayor Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Oni Jaka,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Robinson.
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella,
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Okay, we're on to the consent agenda resolutions. Items A through N, as listed in the consent agenda portion of the meeting, as presented to the Township Council for adoption. Do I have a motion on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on the consent agenda? Anyone want to pull an item, highlight an item?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to explain item M, Resolution 18-399.
Yes, sir.
I knew where this is coming from because Tara Kenyon, our open space consultant, is also co-chair of the Green Team in Manville and had wanted to do something of this nature. So I asked what would be the program that would be funded for this if we get this grant. And she replied, the program would be modeled after Franklin's Stormwater Management Program and Ordinance. Franklin would train municipal staff of Manville and Raritan who would then implement this program into their communities. You know, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. In addition, we would like to hold meetings educating the public and do some storm drain stenciling and adopt a drain programs with volunteers from the Boy and Girl Scouts. So we have what is considered in the state a very advanced stormwater management ordinance, and this would be encouraging Raritan and Manville to do the same.
Any other items on the consent agenda someone would?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I
Yes,
have
sir.
3, but actually it'll come down to 2. For the township manager, Resolution A and B. Resolution 18386, authorized transfer of bail monies to the general fund in the amount of $2,883. And at the same time, Resolution 18387, which is the transfer of municipal court overpayments in the amount of $203.71 to the general fund. So I was just going to ask you, could you give us the mechanisms? Just what is that?
It is just what it says. Whenever there's money in the account as ordered by the Administrative Office of the Courts annually, you do this every year. You just may not recall. That's when there are bail monies that are uncollected by those who posted bail after a period of time. The court orders them to be turned over to the municipality. Likewise, any time that there were overpayments to the court after a period of time of the failure on the part of those paying to claim those overpayments, the money is placed into the township's general fund.
Well, see, the reason I ask is $3,000. She's not like, wow, nobody comes back for the bail money?
Well, that's not just one person.
Yeah, yeah, but
There would be
understand, yeah.
multiple people that didn't come back and get their bail money after their court matter was resolved. There also understand that in certain circumstances, after a lengthy period of time of money being in posted bail and a fugitive defendant, the court may close the matter out. And obviously, if the matter's closed out, then the bail money would revert to the town because the person who is a fugitive is still a fugitive, and their matter was closed without resolution as far as the charge is concerned, but the monies would then go to the township general fund.
Okay. And my last one, unbelievable. Resolution N, 18400, award purchase, Elgin Whirlwind Street Sweeper, Himmerman Equipment Company, amount not to exceed $282,802.28. Now, I've been here 30-some-odd years. And I'm just waiting for you to tell me this. Do we have a street sweeper now?
We have, well, we have two of them, and one of them doesn't work anymore, and this one is replacing the one that doesn't work.
What? Where do they do the streets at?
Oh, they do street sweeping all over town. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, they do it on Hamilton Street every week, and there's alternate side of the street parking that you authorized by ordinance several, I guess about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and they're up and down Hamilton Street once a week on each side, and they do side streets and all over town, and they clean the areas that have curbs to clean out at this time of year most often because of the catch basins.
So if they have a curb, we can put the street sweeper down there and knock out the curb, to clean it up, right?
Well, that's what they do, yeah.
So now we got the sidewalks walking around there, we can do all the cleaning down there. I'm loving this already, Mr. Township Manager. I see everybody's head bobbing up and down. It's just that I just didn't see the street sweeper before, so. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Any other items?
Mr. Mayor.
I don't think they come
Yes.
down Old Georgetown Road.
They do not, Councilman. They pretty much stick to the places that have gutters.
Any other items?
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Jay. Just wanted to point out, occasionally we have, Jay, Resolution 18-396, reject bid, Irvington Avenue Area Resurfacing Project, fatal flaws and low bids exceeded budget amount in third bid. Without going into all the details, a rare occasion, unfortunately, there's an issue with the bids, and we want to follow the law and, of course, do what's technically correct. So I just want to mention this because I know there's many residents in my ward which we've been waiting. Irvington Avenue, I believe there's a handful of others, if I remember right. I think Newkirk, I think South Dover, Eugene, Robert Carey. There's a handful that were part of the Irvington Avenue resurfacing project, and they've been patiently waiting for years. I just wanted to know that this does not mean they're not getting done. It simply means that they will be either first or very close to first in the queue for spring. So I guess the bright side is they won't have any of the impact of the winter on them, and just a few more months, and this should be done. Like I say, one of the first projects in the spring, it just was beyond the control of anyone, and we have to follow the law. So I just wanted to point it out because there are people in my ward that have been, like I say, patiently waiting for those roads to be surfaced. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, if there are no other items, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Chase.
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois.
Yes.
Councilman Galtieri.
Yes.
Mayor Kramer.
Yes.
Councilman Oni Chaka.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Robinson.
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella.
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Yes.
Thank you. There are no items to be voted on separately. Do we have any old business boards, committees, commissions, vacancies to be filled? Hearing none, there is no executive session. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second, and seeing no discussion, all in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Be well, Franklin.
I feel